had a few too many pints last night.
You were what? What were you doing?
I said I had a few too many pints last night, didn't I? Fucking ropey as fuck today, mate.
Well, that's the best, mate. That's the best, you know. Well, what were you just out with the lads, or were you just at the fucking?
No, fucking. Well, that band, Sleep Token. One of my mates is doing merch for support band AA Williams. So he was just like, "Do you want to come and fucking come to the gig?" So I went down with some of the boys and then just fucking.
That's it.
Ended up staying out. You know what I mean? Rest's history.
Yeah. And like quite literally history, because you were probably so fucking smashed that you just don't remember anything that went on.
Yeah. But too far for a Monday. You know what I mean?
Mate, not far enough for a Monday. Fuck it, you're living life. You know, that's just how it is.
Well, yeah.
That's how we do. That's the best.
It.
Right, well, I'll tell you what, I'll do a little intro thing like I do with every podcast, and then we'll get up in this bitch, man. Right, so I mean that's the thing. I always do like a separate intro to begin with, but all I'll say is that it's good to be back on the podcast. It's been a little while, and what a fucking way to kick things off again with the Shred King, my boy, Josh Baines. Welcome to the podcast, motherfucker.
Yes, thanks for having me, mate. Thank you for having me.
Fucking absolute pleasure having you on, man. What a fucking guest to have on, like after the last few months of not really doing anything,
Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah,
it's fucking absolute honor to have you on, man. Absolute fucking honor. A lot of people have been like, "What the fuck?" Because I put up the post on Instagram, and I had people DMing me just being like, "What? You're getting fucking Josh Baines, like Malevolence?" I was like, "Yeah, man." Like, yeah. And they're just like, "What the fuck?" And I asked people like questions and stuff, and pretty much every single person said the same thing, which is when a Malevolence coming to fucking this country or this country or this country.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus, mate, you are wanted like all over the world at this point. It's fucking mental,
sick.
man.
That's what I fucking like to hear, mate.
But also in your honor, I'm just gonna. There we go, bro.
That's mate. To be fair, there is one in the fridge. I might just have one with you.
I think. Let's be honest. Even though you were on it last night, I think you're going to need to get yourself one. You know what I
mean? It's got to be done, hasn't it?
That's sort of how we do here, man. That's how we do.
Lovely. Right, I'm back already. Sound.
Oh, there you go with the pint can as well. You know that,
mate. Of course. You know what I mean? That's it. It's
the best way to go about it. But yeah, before we get into this, like I do with all my guests, I'm going to give you an opportunity straight off the bat, just to promote, plug whatever shows you've got coming up, whatever social media you want to get out there. Feel free, man. The floor is yours, brother. Go for it.
Yeah, safe. Well, we've got a few headline shows coming up in December. A few of them are sold out. I think there's still some tickets for Oxford and Cardiff as well. I think Cardiff's close to being sold out as well. But and then just fucking that's it, really. We've got a few things like coming out. On Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. I think tomorrow there's some cool little acoustic things coming out. Well, I guess whenever it'll already be out when this airs, won't it? Do you know what I mean? But,
well, this will probably go out because we're recording this on Tuesday. It'll probably go out tomorrow, I would imagine, because it doesn't take long to edit these things. So
well, tomorrow, Wednesday, there's some acoustic videos coming out and stuff like that. So that'll be they're really good. There's a couple of covers. There's a couple of our tunes as well that we've done. Just fucking all that shit. Really,
it's all there, man. It's all there. I mean,
trying to keep it going. You know what I mean? Until we can actually go on tour again.
Fucking hell. Well, that's the thing. Like, because I saw, like, speaking of your acoustic stuff, I saw a video on YouTube the other day of you and Con doing your acoustic set at. Yeah. I can't remember where that was, but. Fucking hell, where in the fuck did Con get that fucking voice from? That is some mad shit.
Mate, it's fucking mad, isn't it? Like, he's always had the voice. Do you know what I mean? Which is weird. He's always had the voice. But I don't know. Like, well, ever since I remember when we were recording Reign of Suffering, like the first record, and on Serpent's Chokehold, like, there's a singing bit, you know what I mean? There's a chokehold who waits for you. And then, but like at first, like that bit wasn't like planned at all, do you know what I mean? So we just fucking we were listening back to it, like, we need a part for like that bit. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause it needs something, or like it needs a hook on that. Do you know what I mean? And then I just started like humming little melodies and stuff like that. And then we finally landed on it, and I was like, who's gonna do it then? And we're like, Con, you can definitely do that. Do you know what I mean? And we just like went in, laid it down, and we were like, yeah, well, that's fucking spot on, isn't it?
That's it. And then lo and behold, it becomes like one of the most popular things that you guys have done.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it worked really well. So and then fucking after that, we're just trying to use it more and more. Do you know what I mean? So it's good, obviously good for acoustic stuff and all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I saw the what was it, the Black Sabbath, I think it was a Sabbath track that you did, and
Changes,
and then that was it, Changes, and then when I saw it, I was like, fucking hell, like these guys are doing, not only are you or have been on tour with some of the biggest bands in metal, like, I mean, just off the top of my head, it was like Dying Fetus and fucking who else? God, like Dying Fetus, fucking who else?
Like, well, we've been on. Trying to think now.
That's it. I'm trying to think as well. There's been so fucking many.
The last ones we did were like Knock Loose and Terror.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So we did Australia with Terror. That was sick. First time we've been out there. Really good. Really good.
Fucking insane. And then you were scheduled to be on tour with like Die Artist Murder in Australia or something, weren't you?
No, it was going to be in England and Europe. But it was meant to be about 2 years ago now.
That's true. Yeah. Fuck, I forget that we fucking lost like a year and a half. Like, you know, that fucking year just goes by, you know, without even thinking about it. Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? When you look back on it, it sort of like seems as if it never happened. Or do you know what I mean? It's kind of
that's
weird.
it. Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah, that was supposed to be in December. And then it just kept getting postponed. And I think like obviously the rules were quite sketchy because there were 2 Australian bands, 2 American bands, and us. So it just like logistical nightmare. Do you know what I mean? Basically, and then if you like in a bus or someone gets, well, it was all on a bus. So you know, if someone catches something, everyone sort of gets it. Do you know what I mean?
That's it. Game over, isn't it?
Yeah. So and that's it. You know what I mean? You might be in like France one day and then you're trying to cross the border to Germany, and then what happens if you get stuck in France, or you know what I mean, or you know, because of the restrictions or something like that.
Man, fucking worse. Yeah.
So I think, to be honest, it was just a bit of a like, it would have been fucking sick. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it would have been.
But, you know, some things just
can't
happen. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it'll happen again. Like, I'd love to go on a tour with IR. Like, I think they're fucking sick. So
yeah, man, they're fucking ridiculous. Like, you know, and that's the thing. Like, your style of music fits with them so well because it's proper, like, just insane technical metal. You know, and it fucking and that would have been a next level tour. It would have been fucking insane. But it's sick that you got your so it's sick that you got your UK tour lined up with Guilt Trip and Rough Justice, and the speed of that fucking sold out. That must have been an absolute mind fuck for you. Like,
oh mate, yeah. Well, we've been trying to fucking book them for absolutely ages, but like loads of shit's been happening in the band. Do you know what I mean? It's like sort of like fucking full speed ahead at the minute. There's a lot of things that have changed. Like, there are a lot of dynamics that have changed. New people are sort of like in the mix and stuff now. So it just took fucking ages to book anything. Like, it was a bit of a back seat, and we were like, fuck, like, we're not going to have time to do it. But we really want to play some shows. Like, it'd be good to like sell some small shows out, like, after having such a good festival season. But, and then it basically just fucking wasn't happening. Weren't going to do it. Then we were going to do it. Then we're not going to do it. And then we were just like, fuck, it's like, let's go. Like, let's just do it. Hopefully we'll sell some tickets. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, they're only like 4 weeks away or whatever when we announced them. So yeah, and then it just, tickets were flying out.
Just went fucking flying out of that fucking
man.
window,
it was ridiculous, to be fair. I was like, surely that's fucking wrong. Do you know what I mean? like the first Leeds one were gone in like 4 minutes or something mental like that, and I was just like, all right, that's fuck.
Well, how many tickets were available? Was it like 300 or something? Or
I think 250. Yeah.
Jesus, and that just goes like bang, like just in 4 minutes
out straight away. And then Newcastle sold out on the first day as well, which was fucking mad. Do you know what I mean?
Jesus
In a couple
Christ.
of hours. But like the event, they were like 200, 250. I think Newcastle was about the same, to be fair. And then so we just decided to put another Leeds date on. So we're doing the 2 nights in Leeds, and then that one sold out as well. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's mental. But like, this is the thing as well. And I'll tell you what, there's something that I remembered, and I don't know how this came into my head, but this is going back some. But like, so I'm not giving away my identity really, but this may raise a couple of eyebrows. You and I, like, we have been on tour together, like, probably, oh God, I want to say like 8 or 9 years ago. Something like that. I mean, we're going back a long fucking way. And again,
first Euro tour that we did, I think.
And this is the thing, like, a lot of people are now going to start plowing through loads of pictures. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Where the fuck is he? But I had to say this because I remember on the I think it might have been the first or the second show that we played. We stayed because it was in the UK. We stayed at some guy's house. I don't know if it was people that you knew or if it was like a promoter or something like that. And we stayed at this place, and it was you, me, I think Charlie and Wilkie were in the living room, and everyone was doing drugs. Like, so many people were doing drugs. Do you remember this little crack den that we found ourselves in?
Yeah, I do remember that actually.
Yeah.
Where was that now? Fuck.
I honestly cannot remember what that was. It might have been a little bit up north, like maybe towards, your neck of the woods, I think. But I remember there was a guy that came out of the kitchen in a suit who was just on. Do you remember this guy?
Pandora's box, mate. Do you remember it?
Mate, it was absolutely insane. He came out and his eyes, like his pupils, were fucking enormous. And then he just started talking at us, like not talking to us. Yeah. He was just talking at us. And he went on for ages talking about fuck knows what.
I haven't thought about that night in fucking years. You know what I mean?
No way.
That is definitely a memory of mine. That guy in that kitchen. Fuck me.
Jesus Christ, that was fucking insane when that guy came out. But like altogether, that tour was that tour was absolutely fucking sick. And that was actually probably the last time that I spoke to any of you guys like properly. Since then.
Man. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the thing is that, if I go to shows now, because I've wanted to come to a Malevolence show for a little while, but most of the shows that I go to, like I've been to a few pint glass shows in Guildford, and I just go in like the full get up, so that no one knows what I look like. And people are just like, what the fuck? And I'm like, here you go. And then people know me, they recognize me, and I'm like, holy shit, like I didn't realize this is a thing. But if I rocked up to a Malevolence show, they'd just be like, fucking look at this dude here. Just fucking swinging shapes and just being like, yo, what's going on, fellas?
Oh, man, fucking, Well, if you can get down to any of those ones in December, we can hook you up. You know what I mean? It's not like, you can come whenever you want, basically. Just hit us up. So,
fuck it. Why not? I'll take you up on that. Yeah, fuck it.
Not a problem.
That would be that would be fucking insane. If I have an opportunity to do so, I'll hit you guys up and see what we can.
Yeah, do it, man. Yeah, only a message away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, that'd be sick as fuck. But so one of the questions that I always ask my guests, and I get some fucking gold out of this shit, because I just want to ask, like, so you grew up in Sheffield. You were born, raised in Sheffield, weren't you?
Yeah.
So how was your upbringing like? Was it a calm one, or was it like fairly rough? Because I mean, I don't really know what Sheffield's like, but I mean, it could be.
Yeah. So, well, I guess like my upbringing was good. Just I always having fun. I just like my house was full of music. You know what I mean, all the time. So we're just doing that. Basically, I just used to fucking play guitar and go on my skateboard. That's about it, really. Do you know what I mean?
Standard. That was always what it was like back in the day. You'd be.
Yeah, that's it. Well, obviously, like it was like fairly chavvy, I guess you would say. I lived and stuff. Do you know what I mean? But I always like had long hair and fucking like a Trivium t-shirt on or something mental.
That was exactly the same for me, because like all of the schools that I went to and the colleges I went to were proper chavvy. and I'd just be there in like long black hair, fucking, you know, Dimmu Borgir, fucking long sleeve t-shirt and shit like that, you know. And then you'd always get messed with if you were at the park and shit, like by
that's it. Yeah, just standard shit, really. Do you know what I mean? So
that's it.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's it. It's always like when you stand out as like a metal kid. But I mean, if they were to look at you now, they'd just be like, "Oh shit!" Like this guy has made a fucking name for himself. You know?
Well, I suppose, yeah. Maybe. You know what I mean? It's just fucking. I don't know. I just don't care anymore. You know what I mean?
Fuck that. Like, I mean, I never gave a shit back in the day, and I still don't now. But I mean, you know, it's almost a bit bizarre because I've almost gone the opposite direction. I don't have the long hair anymore, and I wear like fucking Martyr Athletics and shit like that. So I'm rocking the chavlet myself, you know.
Man.
And that seems to be like the kind of thing that people will rep in metal and hardcore shows these days. But you know how fucking times change is insane.
Yeah. It has changed quite a lot, but yeah, my back in the day, like as a kid and that, that's where I met Con. Do you know what I mean? Just on the local streets and that. Do you know what I mean? Just fucking.
Well, I was gonna say, like, because you you guys have known each other for, I mean, I don't even know how long. You must have known each other from when you were kids and shit like that.
Yeah, I met Con when I were 11. So
bloody hell. So you're going back. So, like, did you meet at school or like just on the fucking streets and just seeing what was up?
Yeah, there's like a BMX track, like sort of up the road from where I grew up.
Yeah,
I still kind of live around there now, to be honest, but on the other side. But I just used to go up there, ride BMX and fucking mountain bikes or whatever, try and do jumps and stuff. Do you know what I mean? With other kids, do you know what I mean, or whatever.
Yeah, standard. Yeah.
Con's a little bit older than me, so like I obviously had long hair and like. A Lamb of God shit, I know, something like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was gonna say it'd be Lamb of God, Metallica, or Slipknot, or something like that.
Yeah, that's it. And then he fucking also had long hair and like a Carabera t-shirt on or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So and I was like, oh, like I've got an electric drum kit if you want to come and have a jam. Do you know what I mean? And that were it basically. Just fucking jamming all the time together, like ever since, really.
Well, that's how it always, because that's what it used to be like with me when I was a kid. Is that I was in a band and my drummer at the time, my mate Tom, his dad was the caretaker for a primary school. So on the weekends, we used to get the keys and we used to go into the music room and there'd be a drum kit in there. And then I'd take my guitar and my little bullshit fucking Marshall combo out. And we'd just be jamming like for hours and hours and hours on end. And then, and then word spreads around school, and then people are like, "Oh, can we get involved as well?" And then before you know it, you got a band, you know. And then
that's it, man. It's I'm very, very grateful to like have had that sort of opportunity. Do you know what I mean? When I was younger, I think because there's so many people. Like I teach guitar these days and stuff, and like there's a lot of people who they want to play in a band and stuff, but they're just like no one to play with.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's kind of weird, like.
It's a really fine balance because there was always, like when I was growing up, there was always guitarists, but it was so hard to come across a good drummer or a good vocalist or something like that. Yeah. But then if you and Con like met each other on the street, so to speak, then what was the process for like Charlie and Alex and Wilkie? Like, did you all know each other or?
Nah, so me and Con, we had another band like before we joined Malevolence.
What was the name of that band? Okay.
Well, it started off as Dark Angels.
Man.
And then we changed it to Decimate, and then obviously that was already like a band.
Yeah.
Like a band, you know what I mean, from back in the day. But we didn't know that, you know what I mean?
No, I just love Dark Angels. It's just such a.
There's some demos kicking about. There's definitely some demos kicking about.
Oh, 100%. Like if you were to come across like any demos of your like first bands, fucking hell, if you were to just sort of re-release them and send them out, fucking hell.
Oh mate, yeah, to be fair, I think I've definitely got some on here on this computer in here, to be fair. But
yeah. But
very embarrassing.
So no, but you know, like as so many bands that I, you know, I've been a part of, I've just had the fucking, you know, shit names that everyone like Dirty Sanchez. I was in a band, you know, and fucking what other bands was I in? Oh god! Actually, no, I probably shouldn't say because people will look it up on the internet and they'll try and fucking find it. So I gotta be really careful when giving out all this information because people will people will hound me down. Like, oh god, it's fucking, it's mental the amount of people that are trying to figure out who I am. You know,
really?
Yeah. Well, I remember I got some like messages, like people were DMing me from like other bands, like up north, like kind of like bands like Broken Down, Final Words, like all these kind of more local northern bands. And they were telling me that they had put together like a group chat to try and figure out who I was. And they thought that I was a member of Pint Glass. Apparently, I'm a member of Street Soldier. I'm a member of this band and this band. And, you know, and that's it. Like, you know,
Not quite.
There's like this whole investigation in the north and south of the UK trying to figure out who I am. But, you know.
That's it.
Yeah. I'm just making a name for myself just by fucking downing beers on the internet.
So worst thing you could do, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's it. And like one day, you know, the goal would be to just walk out on stage with a fucking huge band and just slam a beer and then jump in the crowd and just start beating the shit out of people. That would be.
Oh, mate, we'll make it happen.
Oh, don't get my hopes up, Josh. Like, come on now, don't get my hopes up. Be fucking. Yeah, well, that's it. It's because you know, I would eventually just, you know, turn into like a fucking band hype man. So I just come out with the fucking gear with the crate of Stella on the shoulder, just fucking slamming beers. That'd be the dream. That'd be the dream, man. So yeah, sorry, going back to what we were saying before. So you and Con met each other as kids, and then who came along next then?
Well, so Charlie and Wilkie were already like, Malevolence was like another band like in Sheffield. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah,
like,
fair.
Which was us lot, and then Malevolence as well. And like we just played like gigs together and stuff, you know what I mean? There was quite a lot of like local metal bands and like quite a big like scene. Do you know what I mean? Like when we were kids and stuff, like there'd be gigs on like 2 or 3 times a week. Do you know what I mean? Just in like little pubs or little venues or anything like that.
Yeah,
Even in like the surrounding areas, do you know what I mean? You get trained to like Doncaster or Rotherham or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Just to go and see some other gigs, and you know what I mean? There'd be like local bands, like While She Sleeps and stuff. They were playing the same shows. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, they were like the big local band like back then. Well, they still are, obviously, but
yeah, that's it. I mean, you guys were playing, or you recently played a show with them, I think, if I remember from a.
It's at the end of, well, it's on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, New Year's Eve. That prime date, yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna be fucking sick. Like it's been a fair few years since we've played a show together, so you know what I mean, well, like an actual gig, like we've done festivals with each other and stuff.
But like just a small bill, you know, small venue.
It's
doing fucking festivals.
God. But yeah, so they were in a band, and then over time, like our band just like fizzled out. Do you know what I mean? I think some of the other guys went to uni and shit like that. Do you know what I mean? I joined Malevolence because they kicked their guitarist out, so I joined, and then we needed a new vocalist, so we got Con in. Con was the original vocalist.
Gets in.
Yeah, in it, and then just screaming and stuff like that. No, like singing. And then after that, kicked the other guitarist out. Con moved to guitar, and then we got Alex on vocals, and then it's just been like that since about 2009, I think. So.
Fucking hell, 2009. Shit.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot. Been around the houses a few times. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, when you did that video of you guys at the guy's house, like, not for Surfers Chokeoff, but for fuck, I can't remember what song it was now. But yeah, where you just like where you were all hanging outside the fucking front of the house. I was like, fucking, that looks like a mental fucking house party going on there, you know.
It's Condemned to Misery.
That was it. Yeah, that was the one.
That's it. Yeah, that was fun, to be fair. It was managed to time it on like Ghost Fest weekend. So we're like, we'll do the video shoot the night before and then play Ghost Fest the next day.
Fucking hell.
So we just fucking invited loads of people, just like, we're filming a video, like, come to this house. It was like you and our mate Ewan. You might have met him before, to be fair.
Might have done, yeah. Sounds familiar, yeah.
Yeah, a little like blonde hair, like, yeah.
Oh, like the kind of I don't want to say short, skinny guy, but I've seen that he's been with you on tours and like maybe been your merch guy and stuff. Yeah, I know the guy.
It was his like uni house in Leeds, and he was like moving out the next day.
So fuck it, just come and fuck the place up, basically.
Yeah, just fucked it all up and then chipped.
Fucking get in. What a way to fucking do a video. Just fucking in a uni house and then fuck off the next day. That's mental. But now there's one, right, this is one thing that I've been curious about for a while, is you guys had put together your own studio. Like I saw the videos, I saw the stories, like the Instagram stories that you were putting together, and you've put together your own studio. That's fucking mental that you've done that. But I can't.
Like, you know what I mean? I'll just I'm always here.
Oh, is that where you are at the moment? Or
yeah, I'm sat here now. Yeah, this is like the control room, I guess. But yeah, well, basically, like we had like just a normal practice room, just like a shitty little box in the middle of nowhere in a warehouse, like, and it just sucked. You know what I mean? We had it for like 10 years or whatever, but it was cheap. You know what I mean? It was like fucking 20 quid a week or something mental.
Fucking hell, that's fuck cool, yeah.
Yeah, it just never changed. Like the price had never changed. You know what I mean? It's like the guy who owns it, like he just, you know what I mean? He's not really in it to make money, I don't think. Or he's just changing it. He's just like, there's like the whole thing's just practice rooms, but it's fucking freezing in the winter, red hot in the summer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Standard.
Like to carry all your shit up, and like now we've got fucking loads of gear. It's just like no one wants to do that. You know what I mean? And there were no like there weren't any like running water or anything, like there were no toilet. Well, there was one toilet and it was just an absolute
fucking shambles.
Yeah, man. So we were just like, fuck it. We need to get a spot, do you know what I mean? Where it's like going to be like productive, it's going to be creative, you know, we can all go down there, we can have the merch in there, we can have the practice room in there, we can have the fucking studio, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nice bathroom, do you know what I mean? And a kitchen.
Yeah, that's it. Because I mean, obviously you guys have, that's a good point actually, because your equipment must have just, been upgraded so much in comparison to what you guys were doing at the, from way back in the day. Because obviously you've got like the Ibanez fucking sponsorships and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, like we always used to just try and keep it to a minimum. You know what I mean? And like not have much gear. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just we'd never really take it to shows. Do you know what I mean? Because we'd always just be supporting, and you'd just use like the back line that was whoever was.
Oh yeah. That was I remember that bit me in the arse so much, because I remember a show that I played, I gave like my fucking cab to the back line, and within about 3 or 4 bands it blew up. So I was just like, for fuck's sake, man.
Yeah.
And I was
watch it, and because you don't know,
mate, I was fucking fuming. I was so fucking pissed off. Because then like there was no other fucking cab, like most of the bands that were playing had 2 guitarists, so we hadn't even played at that point, so we were like, oh, for fuck's sake. So I was fucking livid about that. So luckily I don't do that shit anymore. So
that's it. So we'd always just try and do that, and then obviously nowadays you can't really just rely on that. Do you know what I mean? It's like
not for shit. No way.
Like now, like we're endorsed by Laney as well. They've fucking sorted us out. Like, so we got loads of cabs and heads and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So sort of got to rep the brand. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's it. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, is that you've gotten essentially what most bands like dream of, which is getting endorsements by an amplifier company and a guitar company. That's what people really fucking strive for. But so to get that must have been insane. Like when they knocked on the door and went, "Yo, fucking have some cabs, have some guitars."
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, like our guy Fen, he's like the artist relation dude at Laney and Ibanez in the UK. So he deals with it all, which is sick, because it's like both companies with like one guy. Do you know what I mean? Which is nice.
That's good. Yeah, that's pretty on point with that.
So like he's hooked us up with loads of stuff. He's fucking spot on. Like, do you know what I mean? All the gear's like wicked as well. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking sounds great.
No, that's sick. That's sick. But then with yeah, I mean, because like I've always wanted to know what the situation is when it comes to endorsements. Do they just go every few months? They just go, right, here's a new bit of gear, or are you in a position where you can just ask them and just say, you know, I need a new guitar, and they'll go, yeah, there you go, and they just give you one? Or
it depends. Like sometimes they'll just like give you a percentage deal or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like we had a few of those before with other companies where it's just like we'll give you like an artist discount, you know what I mean?
Oh, right, I get you. Yeah.
Like 60% off or something, but you still got to buy it, you know what I mean? So
yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
it's fair enough, you know what I mean? And then like so we had a couple of those with various people, but after that, now we just Laney just hooked us up. They were like, "What do you need?" You know what I mean? So, you know, so they got all that for free, which is fucking sick. But obviously, like, it doesn't. Well, it wouldn't be like every couple of months.
Nah.
You renew it. Do you know what I mean? And like with the guitars and stuff, some companies will give you like a few, like 2 guitars every 2 years or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like a year sort of thing, and then if you want any extras, maybe then you'd have to buy them, but like at a discounted rate.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's
everything's just different. Do you know what I mean? It's like depends what your deal is. Like you have to sort it out. Do you know what I mean? Or what they're willing to offer you. Obviously,
true.
The bigger your band is, like the more sort of leeway you have. You know, to say like, well, basically you have to be able to show them that people are going to buy their shit because you play it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. And I mean,
that's like basically all they want to know, isn't it? It's like, well, we've got fucking however many followers, like, yeah.
And it keeps growing, and that shit just keeps going and going. And then,
well, that's it. It's like we have that as power these days, you know what I mean? So it's like that's what they fucking look at.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It is.
Where you playing? How many followers have you got? How many views have you got? And shit like that. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
that's where everyone sees the shit, especially through lockdown. Like, if you're there, like, you know, playing whatever, you know, Ibanez guitars or whatever, and in the lockdown, there's no shows on. People are just fucking looking on YouTube. They're like, oh, he plays that. But cool. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's it. Yeah. But so, you do make a good point, and that, you know, a lot of people these days, you know, they will just look at, as you say, like views, followers, how many likes are you getting on posts and all this kind of stuff. You know, it's an immensely powerful thing, you know, and I didn't even think, because I mean, you guys, I mean, probably in the space of like a couple of years, you've gone from like, I don't know, like 10,000 to fucking, and you got that blue tick as well. You got that verified tick. Like that's another big thing. That's a huge thing.
Yeah.
When they see that, then they're like, oh shit, like these guys are legit, you know? So
that's it. Yeah.
It's a powerful thing.
It's weird, isn't it? It's just fucking peacocking. That's it. I mean,
it's standard. It is, man. It's all peacocking. You know, I mean, that's essentially what my whole brand is just, you know, peacocking. I don't show my face. I don't show anything like that. I'm just some guy that, you know, not a lot of, like, no one's heard my voice apart from when I started doing the podcast, and everyone was just like, oh, is that what you sound like? I'm just like, well, yeah. That's how it is. Yeah. You know, like, I'm not putting on a voice or anything like that. And then no one's seen my face, and then people, you know, they haven't even seen my legs most of the time because it's just like in the chair. Do you know what I mean? So you know, it's mental what social media can do. Like I've built up like this very sort of small, you know, just this brand, like I guess you could say.
Yeah,
and
that's exactly what it is, isn't it? You know what I mean?
That's it.
And it works. People enjoy it. You know? So it's cool. Like, why the fuck not?
Yeah, that's it. And I never even thought, because I remember, I mean, I've said this on previous podcasts, but when it all started, was just doing it on that fucking private Facebook group that we had. You know, the UKBD fucking
UKBD,
yeah, that's it. Like we had that going, and then I just started doing these videos, and then one day I just thought, well, do you know what? Fuck it. I started doing it on my personal Instagram. And then I got loads of people coming at me going, are you doing this every day? Like you're drinking way too much. You're an alcoholic. I was just like, all right, fuck this. And then I just made, you know, the brand covered my face up so that no one could see who I was.
Yeah.
And then that was it. And then and that's it. It's just gone from there. And then, I've sold like merch, I've sold fucking, people invite me to shows, like they put me on guest list and all that kind of stuff. So, just for semi-professionally drinking beers, So, so I can't go wrong with it. It's fucking blessed,
Sick, mate. Why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Why not? And then it would be hilarious if on a main stage, like with some band, like either yourselves or fucking whoever the fuck, like Despised Icon, for example, or something. Because and if I just walked out and just started slamming beers, and they're just like, "What the fuck," But that would be jokes.
It would be fucking sick. That it'd
be mental. Yeah, that's it. A live fucking performance of it. But that was one thing as well, that all the bands that I've loved from back in the day, like Beneath the Massacre, Despised Icon, all these bands like now know who I am because I've tagged them in pictures and they shared them and stuff like that.
Yeah, so, that's it.
Yeah, it's a madness. It's a fucking madness that's gone down, and it's only going to get bigger.
Yeah, man. Word travels fast, doesn't it?
Exactly. Word travels fast on the social media fucking route, man. But so you guys have played some fucking mental shows, like you've done festivals, you've done fucking, like, you've played Download, which is like every sort of metal boyhood's dream, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And then you played what was it,
the festivals?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what the other one is. This shows how much research I've done. Like, I haven't done any.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's it.
Did Bloodstock and Slam Dunk as well.
That was it, Slam Dunk. Yeah, that was the one I was thinking about.
Yeah. Fucking good, really good. Like usually you don't get to play all of them. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you like tied in with like exclusivity clauses and stuff. So like, say for instance, you play Download, you won't be able to play Slam Dunk or Bloodstock.
Oh really? So is there like an actual, is there like not a legality thing, but is there just like, you're just not allowed to play because you've done this? Yeah,
basically, because it basically just means that you fucking take tickets away from the other one or what.
Right. I get you.
I don't know why. Like, obviously, if we play Download, it's not like loads of people aren't going to buy a ticket because we're playing Slam Dunk as well.
True. Yeah.
Like most of the people there aren't going to come and see us. Do you know what I mean? They're going to go and see. You know what I mean? Or fucking Iron Maiden or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're going to see like fucking Alice in Chains.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of sucks that you can't, but like obviously because of the lockdown and stuff like that, and like no bands really being able to travel over from America or Europe or anything like that, then like it meant that like all the lineups were pretty UK based. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, they were fairly heavy in the UK sort of style. But then, I thought, like, due to the circumstances, that's just how it is, like you can't really do anything else.
Good. Meant that we got to play all three. You know what I mean? We got Download, Bloodstock, and Slam Dunk. You know what I mean? So all in 1 year, which is unheard of. I
mean, that is unheard of. And so for you to like walk out on stage and just see fucking thousands of people, that must have just been like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, man. Well, with the Download thing, they only I think it was put together like pretty quickly. Not to say that it was shit or anything. It was like it was absolutely sick. But they only asked us like, I think, what was it, like 3 or 4 weeks, I think, like before the gig. Do you know what I mean? So usually, fucking like 6 months in advance or something.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Or even a full year in advance sometimes. But yeah, so it was like 4 weeks. Like we didn't even have any plans to like do any shows because at the time, like it was still full lockdown then. I mean, it was like, that was the pilot, weren't it, to like test it out.
That's it.
Festival. So we were like, fuck, like, yeah, obviously, like we'll play. Like you can't say no, can you? Do you know what I mean? Like,
it'd be dumb as fuck if you were to say no. You've got it. Like you have to.
That's it. So we were like, fucking hell, right, let's go for it. We like made sure all this fucking setup was like perfect. You know what I mean? The set was like spot on and stuff. Got it all ready. Then just fucking absolutely shat myself when I walked out.
I mean, I can't. Well, that's the thing is I can't imagine like the amount of nerves. I mean, I played some shows where you might be in front of like, I don't know, a couple of hundred people or maybe 800, 1,000 max, but then you come out and there's like 10,000 plus. Or however many. And it must have just been fucking like, oh, Jesus Christ. Because I mean, you probably get the same as most musicians do. It's like, I mean, I used to get this when I was playing, is that I would overthink what the next riff was in the song.
Oh, man.
And you just think to yourself, like, oh, fuck, like, what is the next bit? Like, I can't remember. But then as soon as it comes up to it, you immediately remember, like, muscle memory kicks in, and you just go for it. But that used to fuck me over so much. Like, particularly when you play a part that's just on your own, like there's no drums, there's no vocals, nothing. It like all like clashes to silence, and then you're playing, and you're like, oh fuck, what's the next riff? And it all comes in. But to do it to that kind of audience, oh man, like it must have been insane, like absolutely insane for you.
It was. It's one of them. Like, I think, because I've been playing for fucking so long these days, it's like obviously I still get that what you were just saying, like from time to time, but like most of the time it's like the run up to it, you know, like when you're setting up and like
the anxiety builds up,
that bit, the fucked bit, and then I'm like shitting it just in case everything's fucking right, and then as soon as that first like the intro comes on,
that's it,
you know, like put that first note in and it's fine, it's just autopilot really from there. I mean, it's like it's going to happen, so I'm just going to try and have as much fun as I possibly can.
Yeah, man. I know you put it perfectly. Like as soon as that open note or whatever note starts, and then every last bit of anxiety, all the nerves, they immediately disappear because that's it. You're now starting. It's just like every other show, and then that's it. Off you go, and then you just do it. You smash it out. No problems whatsoever. And then, you sort of then think to yourself, well, what the fuck was I worried about? Oh, yeah, it's fucking tens of thousands. There's like thousands of people out there in front of me. You know, it's fucking insane.
It's cool. It's cool to like be that well received at a festival, I think. You know what I mean? It's like when you're not really sure if this is going to be like your crowd or whatever, do you know what I mean? Or like the slot that you've got, you know what I mean? If you're on like sort of early. It's like, fuck, is anyone going to be there? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I suppose that's true, actually. Yeah.
So that's like the nerve-wracking bit, but then it's just like, there's nothing you can do about it. Do you know what I mean? You just got to go and play, haven't you? Regardless.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what you got to do. You just go out there and play. But then I can imagine, like, you probably thought that way when you did, because I swear, like, Slam Dunk Fest is more of a kind of like punk, like pop punk, or I might be thinking of a Warped Tour. I'm thinking of. I might be thinking.
Yeah, Slam Dunk's pretty like punk, like pop punk sort of thing. Like, there's a lot of like who played this?
You got like Neck Deep and fucking
like Neck Deep and like I think like Sum 41 and shit were meant to have played, like, and stuff. So there's not actually that much metal at all. Like we were definitely the heaviest band, I think.
Yeah, well, that's it. Because like you look at as you say, look at the lineup. You got like Sum 41. You got fucking, all of these big pop boy bands, and then right in the middle, there's just Malevolence. You're like, what the fuck? Like, the hell is going on with that? But then,
our stage there was like, I think who played? It was like, Loathe played, These Nuts played. Who else played? Bury Tomorrow While She Sleeps. BWP played. Your Demise. Did I say Your Demise? I can't remember. But yeah, Comeback Kid played as well. Do you know what I mean? So it was a bit more like core.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was like more of a hardcore metalcore kind of style of stage,
which worked for us. Do you know what I mean? It's just like sometimes like people just want to see something fucking right heavy for a bit.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, they do. Well, that's it. Like a lot of people when they go to like those sort of more pop punk shows, and then when they see a metal band playing, they're like, oh yeah, fuck it, let's just go and change it up a little bit. So it's not like
exactly. It can work in your favor. Obviously, it can work the opposite way as well sometimes. You're just like, what the fuck are these lot doing here? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. But I can imagine, like, so it brings me to another thing that I wanted to chat about, because like obviously in the early days, like what we were talking about before when we were on tour together, and you stay at like promoters' places, all this kind of stuff, and you see some mad shit. But then obviously as you've grown, you get a little bit more of a comfortable accommodation, all that kind of stuff. But then do you still see like some fucking crazy shit? Like, because when we were on tours, we saw some nuts shit. We saw people like fighting. We saw all this kind of stuff. But then I don't know if do you still get that kind of thing with these bigger shows, or are you just sort of in the background? You know, you're just in your own fucking trailers. You know, rock star like.
No. To be fair, like we still have our own van and stuff. You know what I mean? And it's got bunks in it. Like we just con like fucking kitted it up. Yeah. You know
I mean? Yeah, so, shit. I remember that. Yeah, put like didn't you put like 6 bunks in the back and like put
there's 6 bunks in the back. You know what I mean? It's like it's quite nice. Do you know what I mean? It's chill, but so to be honest, like just to save cash and that, we just stay in there usually.
Yeah, well, I mean that's a sensible move. To be honest, like it's actually a sensible move.
Because I mean, pay for a fucking hotel or whatever.
It's long,
but like obviously, well, it's been a couple of years since we've done that. So depending on what happens, like some of the most of the tours that we're getting offered at the minute are just like they're all on buses and stuff. So
yeah.
Sort of changes it because there's obviously everyone's got a bunk on the bus. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of like just a lot easier, but obviously it's expensive, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
Like, but if it's like UK stuff, like we'll just take our van.
Yeah, well, I mean, why not? Because the one thing that I have learned from being on tour and whatnot is that if you are able to fully stretch out, like, you know, it is a fucking lifesaver. Just being able to stretch your legs out on a bunk, you know, not be curled up on a fucking car seat or any shit like that. Like, it is one of the greatest things of being on tour is just being able to stretch your legs out on a bed, you know.
100%, 100%. You need it as well because, like, you know, there's nothing worse than just being in that fucking, you know, like seated position like all night, and then you get up and you've got to like play a fucking gig, and you're like, geez, and then do the same thing. You end up getting smashed, and then you like sit in a car all night again. You know what I mean? It's like,
oh man, like
fucking aches and pains and fucking hangovers. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't really like.
Oh mate, I developed a knee problem in my right knee because we did a tour. Where we were in my guitarist's fucking BMW. Like we drove like everywhere in a BMW, and I developed a fucking, you know, it's not so bad anymore, but because you'd just be sat there and your knees would be up. Like if you're like that for sometimes like 6 to 7 hours straight. And you really do get some fucking serious fucking problems going on when that shit happens all the time.
Isn't it? Yeah, like we did that, like when we started like playing shows in like the local areas. Do you know what I mean? Like Doncaster and fucking round Chef and Leeds. Like the first couple of times we like went to play the Well and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like Charlie had just passed his driving test like when he was like 17 or whatever. I was like 15. We had like his mum's car. And it was like fucking there's like a 4-seater like little like Toyota Yaris or something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a car, like a KA or something like that.
Yeah, mate, like a tiny little thing, and we just get all 5 of us in there with alt gear and like some merch.
Jesus, oh man,
like two fucking guitar amps like on your knees like the whole way there. And shit.
Oh yeah, that was like the classic, you know, packing routine would be to have the guitars across the knees of the person, of the 3 guys in the back seat.
I'll put the fucking heads on you. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's it. The heads go in there, and then the fucking person in the passenger seat.
Bags and stuff like in the side, and then someone's got to open the door for you to like get out. Do you know what I mean?
Fucking brutal times back in the day, man. Brutal times. But you know, but that's it. Like being on a tour bus must be, you know, fucking. You must feel like you've made it a little bit when you're on a bus.
It's a good laugh, yeah, because it just means that like. You don't really have to worry about anything, you know, or like, you know, if there's like, this is going to sound like rock star as fuck, but like, you know,
well, this is what I'm here. This is what I'm here for. This is what people want to hear. They want to hear this rock star stuff. So go on, give us your best, man. Give us.
I was just going to say, like, if the fucking dressing room's shit, do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's tiny, and there's like, you know, obviously on a tour, there's like 20 odd dudes like every day, you know, like there's like 4 or 5 bands and crew. Then there's like 20 dudes trying to share this one little spot. It's like, it's shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone's bags are like piled up everywhere. Everyone's losing shit, fighting for like fucking plugs and shit like that.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Fucking hell.
Like, if you've got a bus, then you can just literally get on the bus. Do you know what I mean? And it's like not going anywhere, you know?
Mate, the amount, one thing that I do not miss about being on tour is the amount of people that would fight for a Wi-Fi password. Like,
that. Yeah.
fucking hell, man. Like, I mean, I remember in the early days when I used to be on tour, I never had a smartphone. So I was like really late to the smartphone game. And every single place we'd stay at, every single person would just be like, "What's the Wi-Fi? What's the Wi-Fi?" And I'd be there like reading a book or something. Like, you know,
that's it. Yeah.
It was fucking insane, like what people would do for a Wi-Fi password. They would fucking suck a dick for a Wi-Fi password.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Fucking...
There's a few lads in our band that are like that for Wi-Fi.
I mean, I'm not going to say names, but I bet I know who they are. I bet I know who they are, but I ain't going to say. I ain't going to put them under the bus, man. I ain't going to throw them under the bus.
But to be honest, well, we've even fucking tried to crack that one, to be fair. Like, everyone's got a contract where you can use your internet.
Yeah, exactly that,
in like every country these days, do you know what I mean? So even that's sort of like overdeveloped now, do you know what I mean? It's like, don't Wi-Fi, mate, do you know what I mean?
But again, like when it comes to being on the tour bus and that, so like, you know, as you say, you've been on tours with like 4 or 5 bands, you're all on a bus. Like, is there any like heated, I'm not like trying to out anyone out, but are there like any heated debate, like heated conflicts? Do people get on each other's nerves? Like, it must be pretty. Yeah, I can only assume that when there's like 20 guys on a bus or whatever, things must get a little bit heated on there. You know what I mean?
It's weird. Like, I think obviously with like bands, there's usually some pretty big characters / ego. I mean, nothing about.
Yeah, I can only assume there is.
If there's a couple of those dudes who are like life of the party, sometimes they can clash.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's just like fucking. Well, it's just like
you don't have to name names. You don't have to name names.
I won't call anyone out.
Yeah, you don't have to call anyone out. But what would you say was like the most vicious? Like, did people ever like come to blows? Like, did they fight each other physically or anything like that?
Well, that's it as well. Like, fucking, they're on one tour and they were like loads of fucking old dudes like in one of the bands, and then one of the other bands. So there was like 4 or 5 bands on the tour or whatever.
Yeah,
bunch of old dudes, like just like alcoholics, like fucking ex-drug addicts, like you know, just like wreckheads, like gnarly guys. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I can imagine. Yeah,
they were all right. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, if you're just chatting to them on a normal level, but like, you don't really. There's no like common ground very often with stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So it's like they don't fuck about talking to you, and they just think you're like some fucking shitty like whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, I mean, but
on our side, we're like, who the fuck are these? Like,
yeah, fuck, I mean? These old cunts. Like, what the fuck's going on? You know?
So like they were just fucking like, these old boys were just fucking mouthing off at like the opening band, who were all like young lads, like about the same age as us at the time, about like 24, something like that, 23. But they were like American, like ripped. Do you know what I mean? Like big lads and that. Do you know what I mean? And they were just like all these old blokes who couldn't even carry their own amps out the fucking thing. Were like getting them to load all the gear for them and shit like that. Because it's like what the fucking opening band supposedly has to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, loading and shit. And it's like they were just fucking going in, and these like young lads were just like about to fucking like drop all of them. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's getting real heated. Do you know what I mean? And we were just like, honestly, if you punch him, he's not coming back. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's a frail old man. Yes, he's a you know what I mean? Like, you don't need that to happen, do you? Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's it, you know, because I can only assume that, you know, these old guys are just thinking, who the fuck are these young kids? And then the young kids are being like, who the fuck are these old pricks?
Fucking work for it. Like, when I was doing it, we all fucking...
Yeah, back in my day, we fucking did this and that. Be like, well, fuck your old methods, bro. Like,
it's like we used a fucking map. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, good. Like, like, I bet if you had a sat nav, you'd have used that though. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, like we pulled out A to Z and things like that. Well, there's sat nav now, bro. Like, relax.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, well, who cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. Like, who gives a fuck?
Time's just different, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
you got to fucking, you got to roll with the times, man. Otherwise, you get left behind. You know.
Exactly. That's it, dude. Yeah, exactly. But it's fucking loads of shit like that. Just people being like. You often get like a big ego, especially like on like some of like the crew guys as well. Do you know what I mean? Like so like the tour managers and stuff like that. Like, remember there was one like merch guy, and he was like telling us that he'd all been like, he was like from the ghetto and shit like that in America and whatever.
Yeah.
And like he just like obviously wasn't. Do you know what I mean? He was just like looked like you're in fucking like Black Veil Brides or something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like little metalcore guy. Do you know what I mean?
And just like black paint all the way up to the neck,
Yeah.
when it fucking.
And we were like, no, you're not. Like, whatever. Yeah, fair play. You might like live somewhere that's like got a sketchy, like a bit of a sketchy like
background
name.
or whatever.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, background. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, man, I've been fucking shot loads of times and stuff. And we were like, no, you haven't.
No, you fucking haven't, mate.
Yeah,
no, you haven't.
It just got so far into it, and Con was just like, go on then, show us.
Yeah.
Show us your bullet holes, like your scars, and he got right sheepish. And then just fucking pulled his shirt up, and he had like this tiny little thing. He was like, oh, well, you can't really see it anymore. Like it was a few years ago and stuff. And we were like,
fucking
bollocks, mate. And he got right angry. Do you know what I mean? He pulled him out to his face in front of everyone. Do you know what I mean? Because no one liked him. So it was just like, right.
I mean,
everyone was just sick of his bollocks. You know what I mean?
Well, that's it. Like, I mean, I've had my fair share of people just trying to fucking big themselves up, and then it just turns out they're the biggest fucking lying cunt.
Oh, mate. Yeah. Well, it turned out that he had to finally admit that it was just like a pellet, like a BB gun.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, like, if he got shot, and if it only happened a few years ago, then it would be like this big fucking, this wound, like, scar tissue, all that kind of stuff. And then,
exactly, that's what I mean. It was like. Yeah, I was like, why would you even fucking lie about that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's it. Like, people like that just need to fuck off, like 100%. Like,
get things to make up as well, because like, it's very easy for someone just to ask you to fucking show them. Do you know what I mean?
Well, exactly, yeah. Like, and I fucking respect to Con for just being like, all right, well, show us. And then the guy just goes, well, it is. That's what happened. God, fucking. I remember. Speaking of that, actually, I remember there was a guy back when I was like 16 or like 15, 16, and we were making an album, and the sound producer, the producer of the album, was just full of such bollocks. Like he told us that he got shot in the leg with a shotgun. And I was like, well, your leg's still there, bro. Like, what are you talking about? You got shot in the leg with a shotgun. And then, we'd ask him, like, well, can you show us? And then just be like, yeah, well, and then he'd pull it up and there was just nothing there. I was just like, you lying sack of shit. Like, just fuck off.
It's so stupid, isn't it? I was just trying to get why you would even make something like that up.
I mean, I don't get it either. But then, like, as well, you're not really like, all you're doing is just lying to yourself. Like, what are you trying to prove by saying that you've been shot, you're from the ghetto, and you're just, you've got like one black eye and one white eye, looking like, you're fucking like the Crow or Edward Scissorhands, like, this fucking Black Veil Bride fucking cunt. Oh, man. Yeah, but I mean, you've probably seen, like, I can only assume that on your travels, you've probably seen a fair few fucking mad characters, just people that are trying to come up to you after shows and just sort of chat to you, offer you drugs and all this kind of shit. You must see some fucking nutters on your times.
Mate, yeah, there's just fucking too many to even think about, to be honest. They're just like, what, there's at least like one a night. Do you know what I mean? Like,
at least.
There's always like someone that's just like going fucking mad. Whether they like even know you or not. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's distracted because you're like, they see like other people hanging around or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And they just like sort of wander over. Start just like rating, you know what I mean, and then just start chatting like, so what do you do? Do you know what I mean? And you're like, oh, fuck's sake.
I've got my head in my hands because I just know exactly that type of fucking guy.
Yeah, and you're just fucking trying to like have a fag outside or something, like once you've played. Do you know what I mean? Just having a smoke or something, and like trying to cool off, sweating your fucking head off.
Yeah.
Outside venue, and you're just like, oh no, you spot him in corner of your eye, don't you? Like, don't fucking look at him. And you look round and he's just fucking there. Like,
oh man, it's the fucking worst. Like, because I mean, I suppose in a way that's sort of the saving grace when you're on tour in a bus. Is that you can just jump on the bus and then you just get away from it all. And the thing is that a lot of people would just sort of consider that to be like not. I don't want to say like arrogant or something like that, but it's a safety net. It's like, it's just, there are so many fucking weird dudes that are trying to talk to us. We don't want to talk to any of them. And
yeah, that's it. I always think like, I don't think it's, I used to think that as well. I was like, why are fucking bands like, they don't like, why don't you talk to anyone? And like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Go on the bus, but then I'm like, it's just one of those things. It's like they've done it for so long. They don't like, they're fucking over it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, of course. Yeah, you would be
play the gig, and obviously they still really appreciate the fact that like kids are coming out and they want to, you know, speak to them and stuff. But it's like they just do it at a certain time. Do you know what I mean? Like they'll go to the like after the set or like after the show. There'll be like an hour. Do you know what I mean? Where they like go and meet people or whatever.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, all that other time in between, it's like they just want to fucking have a shower, sit down,
exactly,
you know what I mean? A little bit, and then just like get the stuff ready.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Going on the bus is like way easier because it's like completely quiet.
Yeah. I mean? Oh man, I mean, I can't. Yeah, just being able to, you know, just get on the bus, just relax, be away from it all. But have you ever? This, I mean, I'm not saying that you know this has ever happened, but if it has, this would be hilarious. Is that if you go to the bus and then some creep or like a group of people have followed you and then they try banging on the door, like nothing like that's happened, has it?
Yeah, oh, people do follow you and try and get on, like, because obviously there's like a code, like for the door. Do you know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
So they try and like look at the fucking code and shit. Do you know what I mean? Like see what you're doing, and then well, it gets sketchy to be honest, because obviously if like not many people have ever tried to do it, but you know what I mean, if you're just in a bit of a sketchy place or it's parked in like
yeah,
you know, like a bit out the way, it's like people fucking try and rob it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like Torbals, there must be loads of shit on there.
Well, exactly that. Yeah, people would just sort of like assume that there'd be like wallets, phones, laptops, you know, all that kind of stuff on there. But I mean, have you ever been in a position like that? Has anyone tried to rob a bus that you've been on?
No, not successfully. Like,
well, thank fuck. Like, it's all I'll say. Like,
no, there's been like a couple of times when people are just like, there's a bit of like a, you know, whip round the tour party or whatever. Like, just keep an eye on that guy when you go to the bus. Do you know what I mean?
Fair enough. Yeah,
he's acting about. He looks sketchy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be careful. Because he might just fucking, well, I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's it. Who the fuck knows? You know, you never know.
You know what I mean? And then run on bus or whatever. Like, like, I don't know what he'd do if he did that. Do you know what I mean? But like, probably, maybe like, get a laptop or like a loaf of bread. Like,
oh, that's true. Yeah, he could just go on just to get your fucking food, like all the snacks and shit.
That's it. Yeah, just fucking rinse the mini fridge, mate.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing is that, you know, I've been to some areas where there are like fucking sketchy or like real fucking sketchy things. Like I remember we played a show again. I've got to be so careful not to mention the band. But like we were on tour in America and we played what was it? I think it was called Fire and Ice Fest, something like that. So the first night that we were on, there were bands like Oceano, Unearth, a few other bands, and it was fucking sick as fuck. But then the next show, which was actually the show that we wanted to play on because it was more hardcore stuff. So there was like Death Before Dishonor, there was who else was on there? There was Death Before Dishonor. There was I don't think it was Terror, but it was something like along those lines. And the thing is that on the Sunday there were two rival gangs that were, because Death Before Dishonor one gang, and then there was another band that was like SOSF or Crowd Deterrent. That was it. It was Crowd Deterrent.
Oh right, yeah.
So there was SOSF, there was FSU, there were like all of these various different types of gangs that were there. Yeah. And then when we were driving to our next show on the Sunday, which is when that show was, we read on the news that like there was big news that people have been stabbed, like guns have been fired, like all because it was in Cleveland, like it was like a proper gang territory. So throughout the whole time we were playing there, we were like, oh, if only we could be playing the Sunday. And then we find out the next day that people have been shot, or like, you know, there've been knives, there've been guns, like all sorts of gang related activity was going on. We were like, fuck, you know, we dodged a bullet, like literally, like dodged a bullet by not being at that show, you know. So
It's ridiculous, all that shit, man.
Yeah, I mean, you get some fucking like some next level shit can happen, you know, when you play like, you know, local shows and things like that, you know. It's mental. Absolutely mental when that shit happens.
All that gang shit's fucked up, man. It's like I just don't get it. You know what I mean? It's like they're not like, well, I don't know. I don't really have much of an opinion on it, to be fair.
Well, that's the thing, because that's something that doesn't
really know anything about it. Like I know,
nor do I. Like I've got a rough understanding of like some of the like hardcore, because I mean you would have seen, you know, in Germany there's a big like SOSF presence. And then there's like various other gangs, but then nothing like that really exists in the UK as far as I'm aware.
No, it's weird. I don't really know of any. Like we've been approached a few times like by various like chapters. I
would want to ask you about that, but I just don't want to. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to say anything, but like maybe off mic we can talk about like the kind of shit that went down. But no, I can only assume that like because of Malevolated, you know, that would seem to be in some people's eyes like a gang as well, as a crew, like kind of thing, you know. So it does make sense in a little way that, you know, you might get approached, but we don't need to go into details about that because
well, there's that side of it, do you know what I mean? And then just like people trying to like ask us if we want to join their gang and like, you know, start like a UK chapter, and I was just like, absolutely not. You know what I mean?
Like, fuck no. Like, we're not Hell's Angels. We're not the fucking.
I know, yeah. I was like, I just want to fucking play some gigs, to be honest, mate.
Yeah, like, I'm not out here trying to start some gang shit. Like, what the fuck?
It's like, I'm not asking about scrapping everyone in car park. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck that.
Well, I mean, you know, that must have been yet again like another sort of realization that, oh yeah, we've made it. Like, we've been asked to make this chapter in Sheffield. Like, do you know what I mean?
Fucking just just like, that's stupid. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it is in a way, you know. Like, it's like, you know, I mean, when people like form gangs and shit like that, it's like, all right, you do you, mate, but I'm just here to fucking enjoy myself and be with my mates, you know. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's it, isn't it? It's like, go to gigs to have fun and like have a fucking nice time. You know what I mean? Like, do some good bands and that. Do you know what I mean? Not that's like it. Watch my back every time and fucking go to the toilet.
Fuck that, man. Fuck that. I couldn't think of anything worse than like going to a show and then just being like, oh, we're part of this chapter, but then there's a rival gang that's there. Like, what's the point? Yeah. You know?
Exactly. That's it. Just fucking. It's weird in it as well, because like I think some of them, like, it just seems like anyone can join. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's it. Like,
it's just like it sort of like devalues the whole thing.
It's sort of, yeah. Like, if anyone could join, like, they don't really need to prove themselves. Like, I mean, exactly. You know, I've seen I mean, there's the 5'9" gang as well. I think is it 5'9"? That's
SOS.
Oh, yeah, that is it. Yeah. So like, I've seen, like, you know, in shows in Germany where, and that's when I realized just how real it was. Is that you see, kind of like Sons of Anarchy. You know, you see people with the cuts,
all the jackets and shit.
Yeah, they got the jackets, and then you see like these what do they call them? Prospects, I think.
Yeah.
And they have like white t-shirts on, and they have prospect written on it. I'm just like, fucking hell, this is real. Like, this shit's actually real. It's not like a fad or a gimmick or anything. These people actually do fucking, and they kill each other in the fucking shows. They beat the fuck out of each other. You know,
whoever fucking runs it is absolutely laughing anyway, because I mean, I think you have to pay to like be in it. You know what I mean?
Well, that's like, it. Yeah, you have to pay. It wouldn't surprise me if it was like a kind of monthly subscription just to be like.
Yeah, I think it literally is, to be honest. In some of them, like, I think it literally is like you pay like one guy.
Jesus, you know, Christ! So yeah, he's probably he's loving it. Yeah, he's got to be.
Yeah, he's buzzing. Yeah.
But then, have you seen like any mental fights at any shows? You know, just like, even maybe not necessarily in like when you're playing a set, and then, because I remember. I swear it was the first time you played Download, and like people were being told not to fight because they were like really like, I don't even know the full ins and outs, but I don't think they were fighting each other. I think they were just crowd killing each other, and I don't think Download had ever really seen that kind of shit before. So
that time it was fucking people, they cut a set off because like people were just going way too hard, and they said that it was like our fault. Do you know what I mean? Basically. Just like I don't really understand how that. Obviously, like, you know what I mean, mosh calls and that, but like, I don't think that you can really pin it on us. Do you know what I mean?
Well, no, you can't though. That's the thing. You can't pin it on the band. It's like it's up to the thousands of people that are in the crowd to behave themselves.
Yeah, and then like I think, well, what was I going to say? Like I think back then as well, the crowds were like pretty hectic. Do you know what I mean? Like at that time, like a few years ago, it was like crowd killing and stuff like that was like a massive thing, weren't it? Do you know what I mean? In like UK scene,
it was a big fucking thing.
And it was like, I guess like at the height of that, and for some reason like Malev was sort of like a band that everyone just went right hard to. Like,
well,
then,
I mean, they like I think it was
like that like Beatdown or anything. Do you know what I mean? It's like we have Beatdowns, but like I've also got like really cheesy like rock riffs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's it. You know, you each other. well, that's the thing. I reckon that is like part of Malevolence's success is that you've gotten this like very good balance of like epic metal riffs, and then you have these fucking slamming, you know, beatdowns that go with it. But then, but I think like, you know, a lot of people's like kind of perception when it comes to crowd killing, I would imagine it become like, you know, it's more like the desolated side of, you know, Malevolated. You know, they like desolated people go fucking ape shit, you know, when desolated play, you know. So, you know, but at the same time, you know, that is part of the thing. I don't know if I think it is still quite a big thing at the moment, but at the same time, it is just what it has been for the last like few, maybe even like 5 years or so. It could even be more, you know.
Yeah.
Like playing all of those types of shows. Because I mean, there's even like if you go on YouTube and just type in crowd killing, like all of these people are putting together compilations of crowd killing, and it is pretty much all UK shows, you know.
It's pretty fucking mad, really. Like it got to the point where it like sort of killed a lot of shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it did to be fair.
So fucking violent that like people just like fuck that.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. But
I'm not doing it anymore. Do you know what I mean? So I think it just like had to sort of chill a little bit, and then people came back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Some of the shows that I've been to in my Down Before the Beatdown get up, I have crowd killed, not massively, but it's weird because no one knows who you are. You can sort of get away with it a bit more, which is
of course, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so I'm there like in a fucking balaclava, like ski mask. I'm fucking wearing a hoodie. I'm wearing trackies. You know, I'm wearing gloves as well. You know, so no one even knows. There are some people that don't even know what skin color I am, which is fucking mental because they don't see any part of me like whatsoever. So
fair play. I mean, I've got nothing like against it, really.
Nor do I. I don't have anything against it. And, you know, there are some occasions where, you know, it does make things a little bit more interesting. Like if you're at the back of the show and you're just watching people kill each other, it can make it quite hilarious to watch. But
it does add to the show, yeah. But that's what I mean. If it's like a big show and it's like sick, do you know what I mean? There's enough people in there for it to be like a pit. And there's also like there's people going fucking sick. You know what I mean? The stage died. Do you know what I mean? It's like the whole experience then, isn't it? But I think back in the day, it was just sort of like you'd go to a gig and there'd be like 30 people there or something. Do you know what I mean? And then it'd be like 20 of them have to stand outside the room.
Well, I remember it was like that. It's like that at One Life on Crew Fest. You know, where like it's a huge hall, but everyone is just stood around the back because they know that people in Germany just go fucking mental. Like they really beat the fuck out of each other.
It's pretty sick there, to be fair. Like I remember, like obviously people do go right hard, but it's like there's so much space for people to mosh. It's fucking hilarious. It's great. Everyone's got so much space to like throw as many kicks of like cartwheels as they want. It's
exactly, and it's fucking great seeing that shit because you know you see like again, you know, on YouTube you see all the compilation videos, and to be fair, like on Down Before the Beatdown, I've put together, you know, I've kind of, let's say, not nicked the clips, but I put like little montages together myself of like, well, not montage, but like little highlight reels of, but I do them to like not beat down music. I do it to like, some fucking pop, like, electronic music, and it makes it so much funnier, So yeah, but you do see that. And I mean, a lot of people as well, they don't really realize that those people are mainly mates with each other. And if they do beat the shit out of each other, it's all, consensual. They know what the situation is.
Of course. Yeah. That's it.
But a lot of people on the outside just go, no, we're not having that, and they just fucking mosh police just come into play. And then that's it. They're all out and about. They just will shut down anything. So for your show to be cut in half, like a download, because people are going in too heavy, there's a sense of like, oh fuck. But then there's also, for me, I would have like a small sense of pride of being like, oh yeah, we've been shut down because we're too violent for the crowd,
Yeah, it did sort of like work in our favor a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like towards like everyone was like talking about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, that was a definite highlight, I suppose, in terms of mad shows. I'm trying to think of some. There's fucking so many. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to like pinpoint and like some other madness that's happened.
Yeah, I mean, because again, like as we said at the beginning of the podcast, like you've been on tour with, like so many fucking bands. Like it's hard to just try and remember all of them. Like
that's it.
Like when you were on tour with like Despised Icon, and you were on tour with Nasty, and like you were on tour with Nasty and Sand, and do you know what I mean? Like there's so many fucking tours that you guys have been on. It must be really hard to be able to pinpoint, but it is like, I would say, your show and download being shut down must be a big high point, but I don't know if you can remember any other sort of major
in terms of like violence, like not that much. Like when we're playing, like I don't really like, because I've got fucking long hair and that. Do you know what I mean? I'd literally just fucking headbanging the whole time. Do you know what I mean? So, like,
so you just don't really see anything.
Alex is always like, "Fucking hell, did you see that?" And I'm like, "No."
Nah, mate, I'm focusing on doing solos, bro. Like I can't look out of the crowd. You know what I mean? I'm looking down at my fretboard, bro. Like I ain't looking out of the crowd.
Nah, but to be fair, there's a guy who got crowd surfed in a wheelchair one time. That was a good. He was fucking loving it as well, which was sick.
Fucking hell! You see that? Cool. That's pretty fucking sick that these people just picked up a guy in a wheelchair. Was that?
Yeah.
That wasn't was that like Bloodstock or something like that? Was it a big festival? Or was it a sort of small show?
We're in Ireland actually. Just playing. It was on that Dying Fetus tour. We were just playing in Ireland, like just a random. I think we were in Dublin, but just a random. You know what I mean? But
some fucking random show, like, and then Dublin. And then all of a sudden you see this guy get lifted up in a wheelchair, like.
Yeah, that's it. I always remember that one. That was sick.
Yeah, fair play. Moments like that are sick as fuck when you see that kind of shit.
Yeah. Just like people in like when we played in Japan and stuff, like people just obviously like coming straight from work. They've just like got the briefcase and a full suit on, just like straight in the pit. Do you know what I mean?
Like, I forgot that you played in Japan as well. Yeah, shit, of course, because you're one of your videos is in Japan. Like,
it's, Remain Unbeaten.
That's the one. Yeah, Remain Unbeaten. Yeah, that must have been a fucking madness tour. Going to Japan.
It was fun, man. Yeah, definitely very fun. It was interesting place, man. It's fucking sick. Like I really want to go back, but like the shows were sick. You know what I mean? Obviously, like we had like Koba, who's the guy who plays in the band Loyal to the Grave, and he's like the TM. Do you know what I mean? The tour manager.
Fair.
He just comes around with you. Do you know what I mean? Like the whole time. So like if you want to go and do certain things, like he's got the route planned. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you see,
like, everyone's going to the same spots. It's fucking. He knows exactly where you're going. Do you know what I mean? It's sick.
So that is sick. Yeah, when someone's got it narrowed down like that, because they normally tend to do that, particularly when you go to like Asian, shows like Japan, and as well, so many fucking people want you in Malaysia. It's ridiculous how many people want you in Malaysia. Fucking hell, the amount of people that have. Because I went through a period of doing this series on Down Before the Beatdown where I do 7 days of violence, when I would do 7 videos based on a country. So like Germany, US, UK, whatever. And then, Malaysia was one that, was a massive fucking success. And the amount of people that just, are fucking mental out in Malaysia. And then, as I say, like when I message to people, ask Josh, like whatever fucking questions, and the amount of people that just kept on DMing me, like, oh, come to Malaysia. I'm just like, bro, like, but yeah, you're wanted in a lot of fucking countries, man. It is insane.
Glad to hear it. As soon as I can fucking get back over there, we will.
Well, that's it. Yeah, like once you're in a position where you can go traveling again, then fuck yeah, it's only a matter of time until you do go out to all of those places, So yeah, and then Australia as well. Fucking hell,
Yeah, man, Australia. I think we've got some plans to go back out there already. So usually, well, what we try and do is just to try and fucking do like that side of the world at once. Do you know what I mean? So like do Asia, like Japan, Australia.
Yeah.
We go to New Zealand and stuff like in one go. Do you know what I mean? And just because it's better than going all the way to one, coming back. Then you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's much better to just cover like that part of the globe and then go back. It makes a lot of sense to do that.
The flights up as well, then. Do you know what I mean? So you're not just going 13 hours to Australia. Do you know what I mean? It's
like going 13 hours to Australia, like 24 hours to Australia, like from the UK, just to do 2 shows and then come all the way back.
That's it, exactly. Yeah, it's got to be worthwhile. You know what I mean? So, but
that's it.
When we played in Malaysia last time in Kuala Lumpur, it was fucking absolutely sick. Like it was the first show that we'd ever played in Asia, like in Southeast Asia sort of thing. And it was like the venue was like at the top of this like tower block. It was like I don't really know what it was, like what else was in there. Like there was like a little shop at the bottom and a bar, and then you just had to get this lift all the way up. It was like 18 stories.
Jesus Christ!
Like a little venue at the top, like it was proper weird. But it was like absolutely rammed, like full of kids, and it was fucking 1,000,000 degrees, and it was like people fucking, like giving out little like slices of apple in the corridor and that. People like hydrated and give them energy and stuff. I'm like, fucking hell, this is mad. You know
that's how COVID spread, man. Just people just handing out apple slices and shit.
Yeah, it's quite easily started there, honestly. A lot of sweaty bodies festering in there, man.
And it's just been handed out like these little fucking weird slices of fruit. Oh, you want some mango, bro? Yeah, there you go, man.
I know, that's it, man. But yeah, that was fucking sick. So I'm definitely down for going there again.
Yeah.
It was a good experience. I fucking really enjoyed it.
Well, that's it. I mean, if you go to Malaysia, if you need a merch guy, then hook me up because so many fucking Malaysian people want me there as well. They're fucking mental. And just sort of going back like to, the kind of fucking little name I've built up for myself, it's insane how many people, like I get DMs from people on an almost daily basis saying like, oh, you coming to this show, you coming to this show, like we want to see you in this country and all that. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what do you want me to do? Like just slam beers with you? Like what do you which I wouldn't have a problem with. But
no, that's it.
It's crazy. Like, I do forget just like what kind of presence I have. But I'm not trying to fucking big myself up, but I mean, it fully seems like I am, but that's just how it is. That's just sort of how it is.
That's this. You know what I mean? You got to recognize like what's going on. It's not like being big-headed, is it? Or like gloating. It's just like, what you've done. You know?
That's it. And that's pretty much exactly what it is. It's just recognizing the, what people have just been telling me. I'm just like, saying what it is, I'm just saying it as it is, but it's fucking mad, absolutely mad. But I think we'll wrap it up there, man. We've had a fucking good little fucking chat, man. It's been sick to get a bit more in depth with the insights of Malevolence. And I was even saying to myself at the beginning of this podcast, I really don't want to ride that Malevolence dick throughout the whole fucking thing. but unfortunately, that's just how it is. That's how it rolls.
Pretty much my whole life, do you know what I mean? So there's not much else to talk about.
Well, I tell you, right. I actually, before we wrap this up, I will say, because I was actually quite intrigued. Is like, are you guys? Is this your full time job? Like, are you doing Malevolated and you're doing Malevolence and as a full-time thing, or do you guys have like part-time jobs in the background and stuff like that? Or
so I just me, Charlie, and Wilkie all basically just do full-time Malev. Like Wilkie does a few like graphic design things for like a merch company. So he does like different bands and stuff. They just send him bands and he mocks them up and stuff.
nice.
Charlie just like has a million things at once going on all the time. And then I just teach guitar, like, so I just sit here really and just like.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, because you do. I think like was it during lockdown that you started doing like the Zoom call guitar teaching?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I just worked in the pub like before, like, but I just never got anything done. You know what I mean? Because it's like late nights. It was like a late bar sort of thing. So
yeah.
And then I just never had any time to fucking do anything. Now I'm just like getting pissed all the time. Do you know what I mean? Just like no like spare or free time that I wasn't like doing something stupid. You know what I mean?
That's it.
So I just thought like I'd just knock it on the head and just fucking just try and teach guitar. Do you know what I mean? I had a few people like inquire about it. So I like, fuck it, maybe I could just like try and do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck it. You know, I mean, why not? You know, you like particularly during lockdown, you know, everyone just seemed they need to just try and make some like bit of money here and there, you know, where they can. So
yeah, exactly, that's it. So, and luckily like loads of people hit me up. So like it just sort of, you know, I had like 4 or 5 students at first, and then it was like 10, and then it was like 15, and then, you know, I mean, it's been like growing and growing and growing. And then, you know, it fluctuates, you know what I mean? Some people just drop in for like one little riff. Do you know what I mean? If they like want to learn a riff, or they want some tips on like songwriting or something like that, or, you know, like influences and things like that, you know, or just like some more knowledge of like theory, you know, like guitar theory and music theory in general. And then other people I've taught like from scratch. Do you know what I mean? So they have weekly lessons, and like I've taught them for like a year and stuff, you know, over a year now. Do you know what I mean? And it's
that's sick. Like, because like it must just be. I mean, you've pointed it out there straight away that it's like a whole different range of things. You know, people want to just know like this one little thing, but then as you say, like people just want to learn from the get go, from scratch. And just go through it. So yeah, that's fucking sick. And this is the thing, you're still a young man. Like you're still a kid. Like in my eyes, you're still a kid, bro. So you know, you've got years and years ahead of you. And again, like who knows, you know, how much your guitar skills are going to improve. Of which I don't think they can be improved because. Fucking mental, you know, like sort of going back to when we were on tour together, you know, me and my boys in my band, we were watching you just being like, this kid, he's like fucking 16 and he's like, how the fuck, like, you know, it's mental, like how talented you were, but you know.
Well, it'll be my next year, I'm 27, and then that'll be my 20th year of playing guitar.
Jesus Christ, you know, I mean, I've been playing guitar for probably about like 15, 16 years, but you know, but that's it. You know, I to be fair, I mainly play acoustic guitar at the moment. You know, just going through all of that stuff. You know,
yeah, man.
So you know, at some point, well, I mean, we talked about it in the past. We'll do like a little fucking collab of like acoustic shit.
Yeah, still need to get on that.
Yeah, we will do, man. We will do. But I need to. It would be way more impressive if we were in the same room together rather than being like on Zoom and shit like that. You know.
Yeah, of course, dude. Yeah, we'll link it up. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, man. We'll link it up. Like, there's still plenty of time, bro. Like, you know, there's loads of time to be able to pull that shit together. That'd be a next level video if we just pulled out like Down Before the Beatdown and Josh Malev doing acoustic fucking duo. Like, what the fuck? Like, it would be mad if that came out. That'd be so sick. But no, yeah, that's sick that that you know you guys have been able to get through all of this fucking pandemic shit. You've got tours lined up, you know, you've got shows lined up, you're doing your own bits and pieces here and there. Fucking sick, man. But yeah, it's been an absolute fucking pleasure having you on the podcast, man. Absolute fucking pleasure.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
But make sure that you follow Josh, you know, at Josh Malev on Instagram and Malevolence Riff on Instagram. Make sure that you try and get down to all of their shows, all of that fucking good shit. And then make sure you follow me at Down Before the Beatdown on Instagram. I'm not anywhere else. I'm only on Instagram. That's it. You know. That's it. And YouTube is like you'll find down for the Beatdown on YouTube is where you'll see these podcasts and whatnot. But Josh, absolutely fucking sick having you on, man. Fucking blessed, bruv.
Lovely to talk to you, man.
Yeah, man. As always. All right, people. We'll see you next time on the podcast. Peace.